So let's take a look at the situation. How do we tell time in German language? Time telling. So time is very important for us. We have to be able to answer the question, what time is it? And the most important, we have to be able to describe. So what do you do at specific period of time? When, for example, you have your lectures, when do you get up early in the morning? So it's very important element of German language. We have to know how to do it. And we have to keep in mind there are two ways how to tell time in German language. So one way, when we use such called colloquial time telling. Another way, when we use such called official time telling. So colloquial time telling is mostly used in everyday conversations. Official time telling, official way to tell time, is mostly used for announcements on railway stations or airports, but Germans very often use official way to tell time in conversations as well. So we have to understand both of them, where are the differences between them. And if somebody will ask you what time is it in German language, the question will be very interesting. Literary translation will be how late is it? So wie spät ist es? So this is the way how we ask for time. Wie spät ist es? There is another option, there is another question. Sometimes we ask wie viel Uhr ist es? But I mean, wie spät ist es is mostly used in German language. Okay, let's start with the official way, official time telling. So when we talk about official time, we always must consider the 24-hour clock system. So 24 hours in our clock. So practically, if somebody will ask you which pet ist es, you start your answer saying es ist, always es ist, and you finish with Uhr, so o'clock. So let's take a look at this clock, and you see it's one o'clock. But we need to keep in mind that we have 24-hour system, not 24-hour clock. And imagine that this is PM time, so it will not be 1 anymore, it will be 13. So 13, 13, you understand? So first 12 hours passed already, so 1 p.m. will be 13. So, and how do we use it in our official time telling? We just take this number and use it in our sentence. So this is our sentence. Es ist 13 Uhr. So we start with es ist, we finished with Uhr. Take a look at another clock. So now what you see, so we still have PM time, imagine. So what you see, we have 13 hours, plus we have 5 additional minutes. So if somebody will ask you, what time is it? Wie spät ist es? We will say, es ist 13 Uhr 5. We don't say minutes. We just say es ist 13:05 Uhr. And this is the way how do we use official time telling. So you can practice a lot. Just keep in mind, we just give the numbers. First number is the number of hours, what we have. And the second number, if we have any numbers, those are numbers of minutes, which are after the clock, after the hour. No? And we separate them. We integrate, we insert this word Uhr. Now that it. Es ist 13:05 Uhr. Now, you tell me when I ask you, take a look at the third clock, when I ask you, which pet is es? So what will you answer? Again, this is PM time. Let's imagine this is PM, so afternoon time. So look, we still have 13 complete hours, but additionally to the 13 hours, we have how many? We have 40 minutes. So practically you have to tell me, so es ist 13:40 Uhr. So this is the way how do we use the official time telling. Again, keep in mind, always 24-hour clock. So if you see official time, that must be 24-hour clock. Okay, so we have 7. We still are in official time. So what is this 7? AM time or PM time? We know that this is time early in the morning, so AM time. And somebody will ask you, wie spät ist es? You will answer, es ist 7 Uhr. Now, again, we have 7. We have 7 o'clock, but if it's evening time, it's already lights dimmed and it's evening time, and somebody will ask you, wie spät ist es? And you use official time telling, you will say, es ist 19 Uhr. So we don't have 7 anymore. We have 19 hours because we consider the 24 hours clock. Ne? So es ist 19 Uhr. Okay, let's go to colloquial time telling. Colloquial time telling is pretty close, pretty similar to American style, so we consider only 12 hours clock. For example, let's say this is 1, and this is 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. So in German it's eins. You remember the numbers now, eins. So if somebody will ask you what time is it, you will answer es ist eins. So you don't have to say Uhr. If you want to say Uhr, you will say es ist ein Uhr. So as long as you use Uhr, you have to drop S from 1. So keep it in mind. Es ist ein Uhr. But now we have a problem because in our time now, how do we live? We actually may have two different one. So we may have 1 p.m., so time afternoon, daytime, or we can have 1 a.m., so deep in the night. And now the question is, what time do we have? Somebody will tell you, es ist eins. So what is this eins? So 1 a.m. or 1 p.m.? How can we distinguish it? And the Germans, they develop a very interesting system when it's really very, very early in the morning, let's say 5, 6 a.m. So sun rises. So in this time we say morgens. We add this word to our time. Keep in mind, never capitalized and always with the ending s at the end. So this is an adverb of time, morgens. So any time before noon, till noon, we may say vormittags, ending s at the end. No? Time afternoon till let's say 5, 6 p.m. depends on the sunset. We say nachmittags. So evening time, when it's like really light, get dimmed, we say abends. And very deep in the night, we say nachts. So keep in mind, those are adverbs of time. They're used after our time, always with ending s, and we do not capitalize them, unless we start sentence with these words. Okay? So practically now we don't have this problem anymore. So how to distinguish what time exactly is? Let's imagine we have afternoon time. So, and we would like to say this is 1 p.m. How are we doing this? We say es ist ein Uhr, and then we add nachmittags. Now everyone will understand this is 1 p.m. Okay? Practice with this. Okay, let's go to the next step. How do we tell half of an hour? Take a look at this clock. Right now, what we have half to 2 or half past 1. German language, there is a word halb. So keep in mind, when we use halb, we always give the next hour which will come. So practically take a look at this clock and somebody will ask you, wie spät ist es? And you will start your answer saying, es ist halb. And then you look, okay, what is the next hour? And next hour will be actually 2. Ne? And you will say, es ist halb zwei. So remember, we don't have to say this Uhr at the end. And remember that depends on the situation, on the context. You may say es ist halb zwei nachmittags or halb zwei morgens, nachts. Depends what you want to say. Okay. Good. Now, can you tell me the time when I ask you, wie spät ist es? Analyze. So, of course, you will start your answer saying was halb, because you see it's half. So you say es ist halb, and then you will ask yourself, so what is the next hour? Next hour will be 8, and your answer will be es ist halb 8. Okay? Good. Next step. How to tell minutes using colloquial time telling. For this reason, we have to imagine our clock like face without hands, without arrows, and we separate our clock by half. Now we have two halves. Now let's keep in mind any numbers, any minutes which will go towards the next hour, not to next hour. In German language, we use the word before. So those minutes will be before specific hour, and before in German is vor. Okay, so then any minutes which will go after the complete hour, so past hour, in German we use after preposition nach. So, and understanding these patterns, understanding this rule will be very easy for you to give the time. Let's take a look at this clock. So what we see here, we see that 5 minutes past 1 hour. So in German we will say es ist 5 nach 1. So practically we say so 5 after 1. Es ist 5 nach 1. Okay, take a look at this clock. So we have 5 meaning before, practically before 1. Ne? And we will say es ist 5 vor 1. Okay, so just practice with any minutes, with any clocks, you know, and you will develop the skill how to tell time. Okay, one more element. Germans very often for colloquial time telling they use quarters. No? For quarters we have to divide our clock face in four elements, and those will be Viertel, quarter. No? So Viertel is used by using the same pattern we used before. So look at this clock. You have quarter past 8. So if somebody will ask you, wie spät ist es? You will answer, es ist Viertel nach 8, after 8. Ne? And look at this clock, quarter before 5. Wie spät ist es? Es ist Viertel vor 5. Okay, just practice with these quarters. Good. Let's check it once again. We have time before noon, so it's morning time, but not very early in the morning. So what exact time what we have is on this clock. And when somebody will ask you, wie spät ist es? Can you give the answer using colloquial way how to tell the time? Okay, so you will think, and your answer probably will be Es ist 20 nach 10 vormittags. So this is a complete sentence. 20 after 10 before noon. Es ist 20 nach 10 vormittags. Okay, how do we integrate time in our sentences? Let's talk about breakfast. So you have your breakfast, let's say this time. So it's 7:45, ne? Okay, so first you say I have breakfast. I eat breakfast. Ich frühstücke. So this is the right verb for that. Ich frühstücke. And now take a look at this clock. What time do we have? We have Viertel vor 8, of course, morgens, because it's breakfast time. Viertel vor 8 morgens. How do you connect your time to your sentence, so your subject plus verb agreement? You use specific preposition So your sentence will say, ich frühstücke Viertel vor 8 morgens. And when you analyze elements of your time, you will say this is a colloquial time. So this is a colloquial way how to tell time. Okay, let's analyze another sentence. Let's, for example, you know that the movie will begin at specific time. Let's say 5:30. Okay, how to say it in German? You will start your sentence saying der Film beginnt. So the movie begins, der Film beginnt. And what time do we have now? I will tell you 17:30. So as you see, I use official time telling. 17:30. Ne? And how do we connect our time to our sentence? Again, by using the same preposition So as you see, for colloquial time telling, for official time telling, we use the same preposition. Der Film beginnt 17:30. And you analyze the elements of your time and you understand that this is official time. Of course, for official time, you don't have to say morgens, vormittags, abends. You don't need to use these adverbs of time because time of itself, those numbers will tell you that this is obviously PM time.